Hit and record. All right. So today I just want to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here today, and knowing how mindfulness is essential in times like this. Um, Mindfulness is a skill set. It is a way of life. It's an opportunity to help you from within yourself and within your external environment. Uh, Throughout the e-learning time, we will be meeting on a daily basis, and we will be going over different strategies and practices of mindfulness, whether it's a meditation, a breathing exercise, a point of view, anything like that. We will be going over a variety. It's a large variety of opportunities for you to practice in your everyday life mindfulness. I know I've shared with you guys this before, but the Palouse, P-A-L-O-U-S-E, I believe, mindfulness program is an online program that is free. And it is a great 8-week program for you to look at. You don't have to sign up. You can just click on all the resources, the videos, the readings, the meditations, everything. You can go on it at any time and look at the information for yourself. But during these next few weeks of doing online remote learning, we are going to use the Palouse framework, and a lot of the resources are stemming the concepts and ideas that we do each week, so that we provide a fluid movement of new material, because we recognize not everything works for everyone. We are all sensory beings, and so I may like a certain scent, you don't. I may like a certain sound, you don't. You might like a certain feel or texture, and I don't. So there is no one size fits all when it comes to the mindfulness programming and strategies. So it's important to look at everything and anything so that you can figure out what works best for you in your time of need or in your daily schedule. So that to me is so important. And I just know that throughout this time, if you're like, oh crap, I couldn't make it to this, mindfulness today. Well, you can go on Palouse if you wanted to and pull something just to gain your knowledge for the day if you are committed to doing something on a daily basis, or on a regular basis. You can get caught up if you were busy one day. I just think that using the Palouse structure is going to be super beneficial. But for the first few days, today and Thursday and Friday are the first few groups that we have. We are just going to go over some of the basics. The 3 steps that we've talked about, which is the reboot, the relax, and the rekindle. It is important to do all 3 of these components when we talk about mindfulness, because mindfulness is research-based and has shown success and positive effects when it comes to your strengthening your immune functions, lowering stress, helping you sleep, lowering your cortisol levels so that your insides are all kind of regulating themselves better, especially during a time like this. It is also known that if you are doing like regular mindfulness meditation or just meditation in general, meditation has the ability to help you build larger the gray matter that's in your brain. And that building of gray matter, normally the building kind of stops and we lose gray matter as we get older. But research has shown that it's almost like helps you become like youthful in your brain, because it kind of, it does the opposite with aging when it comes to meditation. And different types of meditation, including mindfulness, that it can help strengthen your gray matter. It makes that gray matter more dense. And that's really important when it comes to things like your attention span and regulating of emotions and memory and all that fun stuff. So it's something to think about. So taking this time to look at all these different ideas and concepts of mindfulness, as well as knowing it's all research-based backed, and then providing you with an online free program that you can take a look at your leisure, knowing that we are pulling every week. We're going to try to follow their weekly plan so that we are looking at things that they are looking at each week, so that you can go to get further information there on your own. So I think that, using those two things is my hope is going to be really, it's going to be really good to help educate you, but also support you in, if you would like more information regarding mindfulness and its effects that it can have for you. So first and foremost, there are 3 steps. John Kabat-Zinn and Shauna Shapiro are my gurus when it comes to looking at mindfulness. And when you listen and you read all their work, there's really 3 components. And I have used my 3 words to kind of identify each area. One, and the first one, is relax. And that is what we're doing right now. We're coming together and we are becoming more present-minded right here and right now. During the time of the reboot, we use our sensory system to navigate our present surroundings and our present internal functioning and what's going on. Mindfulness is not about shutting anything completely off. It's not. It's just saying, I'm going to practice. I'm becoming more aware and not letting all of my thoughts and my feelings navigate my life. Because we know most thoughts and feelings are not about the present moment. They're about our future, or they're about our past. The second step is reboot, and we all have to remember that reboot is really teaching us how to, we go from reboot to relax, and relax is we're giving ourselves the opportunity to become more physically aware of our bodies and kind of relax ourselves and shut us off. The way we do that is through a conscious breath. The way we do conscious breathing is we breathe in through our nose with a large belly breath, and we exhale. I prefer through my mouth, but we exhale always longer than we inhale. The science part of it, I'm like, take in your oxygen, but make sure you're getting rid of as much carbon dioxide as you can. Inhale the oxygen and push out that carbon dioxide that we don't need. Breathing is essential, and when you concentrate on your breath, it is really hard to think about other things. But when your mind does drift, because it always will, you can acknowledge, state, got it, label it, awesome, I kind of feel this way, great, and push it to the side, and then get back to paying attention to that conscious breath. That conscious breath allows you to kind of continuously come back to center, during this time, which is going to be extremely important because nobody else is going to be there to do it for you. You gotta figure out, how do I get myself back to center when my mind drifts? So that conscious breath helps. And then the third piece is that rekindle, which we talked about. And Shauna Shapiro says, in her ways, it's that kind attention. It's making sure that when we are present, we are not judging. And when we are present, we normally judge ourselves. We are most critical to ourselves. And if we are practicing being mindful and we are critical of ourselves, we are actually doing ourselves a disservice, because we are practicing negativity when really, and we're practicing judgment. And we have to remember, we are these beautiful people. And we are beautiful people who are perfectly imperfect. And not only am I perfectly imperfect, you are perfectly imperfect. Everyone is. And if we can come in with that frame of thinking, we are going to be more compassionate. We're going to be more compassionate to others, and we're going to be more compassionate to ourselves. Now, during this time, people want to control, because we can't control the weather. We cannot control Mother Nature. We can't control viruses. We can't control our children. Our children's brains are their own. We can try, and that gets frustrating, but we can't control them. We can't control our parents. We can't really control anything like this. And when something like our everyday life gets changed up so drastically, we become extremely vulnerable, because we realize we cannot control our future. We can't control tomorrow. We can't control whether we're going to get the virus. We can't control anything. So mindfulness allows us to kind of let go. And because we can't control, we have to understand that we have to really be self-loving. Because when we become out of control, we then want to become control freaks. We want to try our darndest to control anything and everything we can. And if given an opportunity to try something new or to do something out of our comfort zone, more than likely, we may freak out and not even try, because so much of our world has been turned upside down already that we don't want to try. And that's where that loving kindness comes into, and that kind attention comes into, because if you know that there's a possibility I'm not going to do it right, and there's a possibility that I may not like it, or I might feel like I'm a failure, you can say, at least I tried, and I gave it an honest attempt during this time. And guess what? We learn best from our failures. We learn best from our mistakes. And we are being given an opportunity right now to try things in a much different way than what we're used to. Sorry, that's my dog. We are able to do things so differently that we have to appreciate the present moment to see what opportunities are awaiting us. So to be under a full rekindle state, we have to remember to be kind, compassionate, considerate, self-loving, self-forgiving, gracious to ourselves, so that we can give that to others in return, and that we can give it to ourselves when we're learning and we realize we're perfectly imperfect, because we are going to have to give it to ourselves the most in this day and age right now. And in return, we'll automatically give it to others. So why is so much rekindling important? And why is the relax and reboot? Because the relax and the reboot gets your brain ready. It gets your brain ready to do the tough stuff. It gets your brain ready to start thinking about things in a non-judgmental, non-critical way. It gives us the opportunity to learn in a way that we are so fortunate to have right now, because we gain the most wisdom during our downtime. We gain our wisdom when we can reflect back at things we've done, things we might want to do, and we establish a positive connection to it and look at the different opportunities things have given us or could give us. Wisdom comes from that deep layering that we are recognizing, and we are given time to do that right now. We are given time to do that, and in order for us to build on that, we need to remember the people we're around, the things we're watching, the things we're reading, the things we're listening to. Really, at this time, if we continue to center it around positivity, the more we see, the more we hear, the more we think, the more we believe. And that is essential to being mindful. So right now, what I'd like us to do is let's do a meditation. And it's going to be a great self-reflection meditation in order to just practice these 3 steps and hopefully give you a good direction for the rest of your week, the next few days. If you are able to join in on other days, awesome. If you're not, that's okay. You have outside resources now. But we would love to have you and to have anyone, you know, your friends or family members who want to join you. Anyone can benefit from all this, and they all benefit in a different way. So let's try this meditation. And most meditations I have are not scripted and written out, so you have to apologize. None of this is really scripted and written out ever. But what I do is I take it for what it's worth at that moment. I become very present, very mindful, and I hope it works for you. So, okay, let's get ourselves in a comfortable position. We need to make sure that our airway is not restricted. We want to make sure we can have a good flow. You can be sitting, you could be standing, you could be laying down, you could be doing any of that. Whatever you choose is your choice. Go ahead. So I'm going to give you guys just a few moments I'm going to pause the recording for just a minute to get yourselves comfortable, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I hope you are all set and ready, and you're comfortable. And you are in a position where your airway isn't restricted. And then I'd like you to close your eyes or look down in a soft gaze. Do whatever is most comfortable for you. And just kind of get yourself in a position where you feel like you could be there for about 5 minutes or so. And then what I'd like you to do is follow your breath with me. I'm going to tell you to take an inhale for 4 counts. So breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe naturally. And we're going to attempt to do this again. Because this is that conscious breath that if you are paying attention and if your mind starts drifting, just go back to that conscious breath. Allow yourself to go back to that place. Go ahead and take a large deep breath in. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. All right. So if you're comfortable, let's take a large deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take another deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of zone in to your legs and your bottom, your lower half. Kind of be aware of each part of your body and allow it to kind of relax. If you feel pain, identify it. You might have some aches and pains, and as long as you're becoming aware of them and then you're pushing that thought to the side so that you can handle it later, that would probably be best. Because remember, being aware of our surroundings and our internal self is so extremely important. Identifying it, making aware of it, putting maybe an emotion to it sometimes is fine, and then putting it off to the side so that you can get back to that conscious breath. Go ahead and take another large deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the exhale. Now think about the rest of your torso and your back, your upper part of your body, your shoulders. You know, really think that a lot of times we hold them up by our ears and we need to kind of keep them down. Let's put them down as far as we can. That would be great. It almost feel as if there's weights on them, because the more you have it up here, the more tense we are, the more we have it down to the ground, the better we are. The way you can do that is through relaxing your arms as well, like if there were like wet noodles, having them, you know, just kind of wrung down so that you're kind of just more relaxed than you normally would be. So go ahead and take a large deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really work on relaxing our bodies. And now we're going to relax as best as we can our face and our head. What we do is we drop our tongue down to the off the roof of our mouth, and we move that down, and then we also think about our eye sockets and how they're kind of fallen back in our head a little bit. Really relax that face of ours. When we relax our face, we have a tendency to relax our jaw, and we do a lot of times hold a lot of tension on our jaw, and we don't want to do that. So by relaxing our face, those are things that we can do to help ourselves. So go ahead and take a large deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now remember, no matter what we do, we're always going to have distractions, and that's okay. Even if the dog is barking, it's okay. Because what you'll do is your mind will be alerted to something, and then our job is to go right back whenever we're able to get back into the present moment and to that conscious breath. See, it doesn't have to be complete silence, and it doesn't have to be completely non-chaotic in order to do this. It's training our brain to allow ourselves to be as present as possible, as non-judgmental as possible, as self-loving and forgiving as possible, no matter what comes our way, and adjusting whenever is necessary. So now that your body is hopefully relaxed, I just want you to take a large deep breath in with a nice exhale out, in order to allow yourself to just take your own breaths as you feel necessary at the present time. Just continue to breathe at your own pace. Continue to be conscious with your breath, with kind intention when paying attention, as Chandra Shapiro says. See, in today's world, it is crazy. There's a lot of hurt, a lot of unknown, a lot of sadness. It's creating a lot of people to feel vulnerable and afraid. This would be natural. This would be something that is good to be aware of and to be knowledgeable of. But it's also extremely important to know that this is what we're dealing with right now, and it happens. If it's not this, it might be something else in our life that stops us from what we feel is forward movement. And instead, at this point in time, with all the wonders of the world, we can take this time and say to ourselves, this is our present moment. This is our time to reflect. This is our time to learn. This is our time to be grateful. To be grateful for all the things that we have. For maybe every breath we take as soon as we wake up or yawn. Maybe the meals that we're able to eat. Maybe it is just spending more time with our family, our pets. There are so many things that we can be grateful for, and that if not given this opportunity, and it is an opportunity to slow our lives down, we may not be able to appreciate what we have in front of us like we do now. Now, I'm saying that appreciation doesn't come with challenges, and I'm not saying appreciation isn't always positive all the time. Because remember, positivity is not having things go your way 100% of the time and you being happy all the time. What positivity is knowing that no matter what happens in life, you're going to be okay. And why are you going to be okay? Because you are an individual that has so much to offer to yourself and to the world around you. You have strengths, each and every one of you, that you bring to the table. And maybe you do it on a regular basis already. Or maybe you can take this time to look at what you're passionate about or what your strengths are and say, when this crisis is over, how can I use my strengths for more good? Or maybe you're looking at yourself and you're appreciating that you can see some of the downfalls that you have, and that this is the time that you're given to say, you know what, that's part of me, and that's okay. And if this is part of who I am, then how can I use this for the better? How can I use this in the best possible way? Or maybe if I need to do some self-reflection and some adjustments, I'm given the time to make those now. My hope is that we are never, ever going to be given this opportunity again, where we have the ability to slow our lives down so slowly and be given so much opportunity to self-reflect and gain wisdom. I hope that we do not have to go through this again, ever in our lifetime. And the probability is that we won't. So let's use this time for good. Let's use this time to reflect on all of the amazing things we have in our lives and the amazing people that we are. Use this as an opportunity for self-care, because at no point in your self-care do you have to feel now guilty, because we're giving you the time. We're giving you this moment. Remember, we learn best through adversity. Most people that are successful in this world are resilient. Nothing came easy to them, whether it was Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, these are just people in the now that we know have played an impact on our lives, or in the media, or in social movements. Use this adversity for the better, because I know each and every one of you have something to offer and to give to make this world a better place. And being mindful, it always begins with you working on you. And it will have a ripple effect once that begins. So ride this wave, ride this journey with me during this adversity, knowing that even if we're riding the waves, we're still moving forward. We might not be as smooth going as we'd like, but it's okay, because we're riding those waves up and down together, and we're moving forward. And we will move forward eventually for the better, because we're going to start from within. Go ahead and take a large, deep breath in with an exhale out. Take a large, deep breath in. Exhale out. Flicker your eyes open. Wiggle your body to make yourself alert. And thank you for practicing today.